Now, another program that I think has been very helpful and for business owners that have been around for more than two years, generating more than $250,000 in gross revenue. And we're looking for those that are the decision makers, right? The C-suites, the CEOs, the COOs, all those great decision makers that want to, we'll talk about the philosophy. Are you working in your business or are you working on it, right? Because again, as a business owner, you're wearing multiple hats. But why not take a step back and see how you could work on your business? SBA has this program called Emerging Leaders Thrive. Okay, it's been around in Vegas for about 7 years. And it's, you could say, a fellowship program or a mini MBA program. And it's about 7 months that you're learning about different modules, from contracting, from financing, from access to capital, from HR, you name it. It's free, right? It's free with the caveat that we ask for your commitment. During the pandemic, we acted as direct lenders, right? Because there was a pandemic. SBA stepped in that role. We always have for many years when there's a natural disaster. In this case, it was a pandemic. Historically, we don't. That means that we're not a lender. You know, we guarantee the loan. So we have a relationship, in this case, with GBank, where we guarantee a percentage of the loan, and that allows them to mitigate their risk, that allows them to feel more comfortable and hopefully put more capital out in the community, right? So it's a way that the government and lenders work together to benefit you. So a little bit of what I'm going to say, you guys will go more into detail, but we got some great programs. If you're looking to purchase real estate, commercial, there's benefits to that. If you're looking to buy a business, I know I saw some brokers today. And look, I get it. You're dealing with the government. It's not the fastest program, right? I mean, it's going to take time. So I want to be transparent with you. And they're going to ask for a lot of information. I've had folks, it's like, what the hell, are they going to ask me for my blood type next? You know, what's going on here? Again, you're dealing with the government. I just want to be transparent. There's lenders like GBank that have this designation called POP, Preferred Lender Provider. So a lot of it, they do underwriting in-house, so they can move it a little bit quicker. So that's the benefit of GBank and other lenders that have that POP designation. Most of them do. You have some that don't. And you have cases that are kind of complicated that they're going to swing it to SBA and say, hey, can you give me an idea of, you know, if we're going to have the guarantee? Because the bank is going to try to get the guarantee first, right? That's why that's all this due diligence. The bank wants to make sure that if they're going to back you up, that they're squared away and the guarantee is set in stone. God forbid something happens, they can always fall back on that guarantee. So just thought I'd share with you a little bit about the guarantee. They'll dive more into the details of it. The other piece of it is government contracting. Government contracting, if you have a business that you're looking to grow, think about government contracting. It's one of the government as a whole is one of the world's largest buyers, right? They buy everything you can think of, products, services, you name it. Now, SBA, what we do is we have these things called certifications. You've probably heard the term certifications, right? And if you haven't, think about it this way. The government sets aside contracts to help small businesses, right? So they're setting aside contracts for small businesses. Why do they do that? Well, they're trying to level the playing field. You want to have a small business competing against a small business. You don't want to have a small business competing against, we'll say, the Boeing or Raytheon. They're too big. It's not an even match. But when you set aside contracts, you got a small business competing against another small business. That's kind of the idea or the philosophy behind government contracting. So as the government sets aside 23% of contracts for small businesses, right? And then you break it down even more. This is where the certifications come in. And you can say between 3 to 13% the contracts are set aside for woman-owned. If you're a woman-owned, 51% owned as a woman, you can get the woman-owned small business certification. There's one if you're a service-disabled veteran. You can get a certification on that. Yeah, there's one, it's called 8A, the number 8 as in the number 8, and then the A as in apple, 8A. That is more for the socially, economically disadvantaged. Some can say it's for minorities, but it's going through some changes. But for right now, socially, economically disadvantaged. And that program, again, contracts are set aside. So those are tied into, you can say, women-owned, service-disabled, and socioeconomic. And then we have one that has nothing to do with your ethnic. It's based on the location of your business, called Hub Zone, HUB Zone. Historically underutilized business zone. So that's communities that are underserved, and the government's trying to create economic development. So different ways that you can get those certifications. Those do go through SBA. So there's a process. Again, you're dealing with the government, okay? So please bear with us. And I say that transparently because there is a huge backlog right now with some of the certifications. SBA is revamping the way that folks apply. The new platform is going to be called My SBA Certification. It's supposed to streamline the process, supposed to make it easier, because the reality is some people were waiting a year to try to get the certification. It was quite ridiculous, right? People would get frustrated, or they would apply and then they would say, you know, a couple of months went by, can I get updated information? Hopefully we can get rid of all that. This new platform is going to make it easier and hopefully allow you to compete. As you can see, we have great partners and we leverage on each other to make sure that we bring the resources to you. But some quick numbers just to give you an idea, right? The government setting aside contracts for small businesses. For the woman-owned last year or the year before, it equated to about, I think, over $160 million in contracts that went out. And this is in Nevada, okay, only. Not nationally. This is in Nevada. You could say about 160 million. Women-owned small businesses that won contracts. So it's a great win for us. On that 8A program, it was around 170 million. So why I mention these numbers, it's because, again, it's a good way to grow your business, and we've seen it be successful. I'll tell you just a quick story. This gentleman, he's an electrician. He joined the program, the 8A, about 2 years ago, okay, 2 years. And when you're in the 8A program, it does take a while for you to start winning contracts. That's just kind of the reality of it, right? But this gentleman, again, started in his kitchen table. He had been working for an electrical company, been there for many years, but it was time for him to move on. You know, he just wasn't getting the treatment. He didn't like the culture. And him and his wife sat down, and believe it or not, the wife said, what the hell are you waiting for? It's time for you to do your own thing. So he did. The beauty of it is that he had been around all these military bases doing work already. And even the contracting officers had said, when are you going to start your business? So he had great relationships. And if you remember, contracting officers are looking to set aside contract for small business. So that relationship he had already really helped him. But beyond the relationship, he knew what he was doing. At the end of the day, the government wants to make sure that you're going to deliver. It doesn't matter, because a lot of these contracts are tied into the Department of Defense, and that's affecting our military. As a matter of fact, it might be a success story with GBank. I think they used GBank to purchase their real estate. So he went from growing his business to purchasing his real estate, and he also took part of the Thrive program. So it's a great success story. I just wanted to share that with you. And if I leave with anything, just know that I think we have good people in this room. We got Sonny, we got Joan from Apex, we got GBank, and SBA has a lot of networks that we leverage on. And what I find is that we have people that want to make other people better. You know, at the end of the day, you're in the right hands, you're with the right people. And if there's those type of people that want to make other people better, I think we're going to get to places. And I think we've been proud to see the growth that we've seen in government contracting. We're proud to see the growth that we've seen with our capital programs, SBA, but that's just a piece of it. You, at the end of the day, are the ones that do it all.